All right. So, hello everybody again. And just so I don't forget to say it, please like and subscribe. It really helps out. The channel's growth is slowing a little bit, but it's still growing way faster, I think, than ever before. And it's all thanks to you guys liking and subscribing. So you can always unlike and unsubscribe if you really don't like it for whatever reason, but I think you'll like it. In any case, um, yeah, let's try Mono Black again, okay? And yeah, so, okay, first of all, elephant in the room. I'm sure you're probably noticing that Liliana has these little borders over it. Well, I may have sold Liliana since this league, but don't let that necessarily discourage you. If you like the way you see it play in this league, then you may not necessarily end up cutting it like I did. The number one reason, though, why I ended up cutting this later on was that Bowmasters. Like just a lot of times you want to down tick with Liliana, and then Bowmasters immediately sniping it is a little bit yeah. It's a plus also Bowmasters pressures it pretty well with two bodies. Down ticking to kill an orc token is not always where you want to be. That being said, it's still still surprisingly good against a lot of combo matchups. It's really actually I feel like it's a best actually nowadays wherever the uptick is going to be good. And it still has that nice ability with Castle Locthwain, where if you can keep your hand empty, Castle Locthwain ends up being that much better. So yeah, in any case, uh, in any case, yeah, I think honestly, Liliana of the Veil nowadays, I'd probably be better off as something like, oh, I don't know, March of Wretched Sorrow or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, but Liliana still has its place. In any case, the main reason why I want to show you all uh, this build here is actually because even though I have made some adjustments since, and we'll get to that, I don't think we're too far off from where I'm at with the current version. Although I may or may not have added Saga to the mix since then. But regardless, this is actually one of the first leagues where I believe I try out Inscription of Ruin, and I want to show you all how this ends up going with this interesting, nifty little card. I'm really surprised that I never saw this before. I always kind of nice. I always kind of like trolling around the the card selection. You slide quantity here to 0, and you pretty much this is pretty much like a gatherer of sorts. You're on the MTGO client. You can also just use actual gather if you don't have MTGO. Um, there's a lot of different ways you can search for cards, but the way I've been doing it lately, I've just been sliding the quantity counter to 0, and I've been searching around, typing up stuff in search for text and whatnot. And one of the interesting things is when I was looking for good discard spells, I think at 3 mana I was looking at to see just hey, they must have printed a better Mind Rot since the days of Mind Rot, because that's one of the things I noticed is power creep and all that. So like I remember I was always in the business for a good Mind Rot effect. One of the first things I actually noticed when I was shouldn't say first thing, but one of the early things I actually noticed when I was playing Magic even back in the day was actually how surprisingly good Mind Rot was. Now obviously Mind Rot is unplayable, probably. I mean, more than anything, it's just okay. Look, I'll just get to it. The main thing about Mind Rot, it's not actually the fact that they discard 2 cards and they get to choose. It's actually the fact that it doesn't affect the board at all. It can be a dead card later in the game, but of course it doesn't stop people from playing Thoughtseize. But of course Thoughtseize being able to be fired off on turn 1 goes a long way in preventing at least it becoming a dead card by the time you cast it. Although most of the time your opponent's still going to have a hand by turn 3, so most of the time, a good Mind Rot effect is about as likely to be dead by turn 3 as Thoughtseize is. That being said, I think the biggest difference between a 2/3 mana discard 2 and Thoughtseize, aside from the fact that they get to choose the cards, which can't be underestimated, is a lot worse than you getting to choose which ones, obviously. But I think the main thing is it's also kind of not surprising, no duh, Sherlock, um, that 3 mana is a lot more than 1. And what that means is there's going to be a lot of board states where you can't really afford to take off, a whole turn and spend a whole 3 mana just to not affect the board. Sure, you can affect what could be coming down the pike by affecting their hand, but even then, they could discard whatever 2 cards are the least pressuring, and they could just go all in on the pressure plan. And when you take a whole turn off to only affect their hand and not the board, suddenly, you know, they could ditch like two, I don't know, draw spell effects or something, and then keep two lightning bolts, and next thing you know, they just kill you, you know, when they untap, you know what I mean, type of thing. So I think that's the biggest issue with classic Mind Rot. And Mind Rot, by the way, is in case you're all running, I'm not going to look it up. It's just the same exact thing as this card, except it has no other modalities, and that's ultimately why this card piqued my interest, because I actually found that this card too for Mind Rot is kind of underrated. It's actually surprisingly good. But this card pretty much takes care of that problem where it doesn't affect the board. If you look at the second modality, well, actually the third modality here, destroy target creature with mana value 3 or less. This is actually the main thing I'm interested in this card. This is the #1 reason why I wanted to try this card out, because like I said, in those board states where you really want to be affecting the board rather than their hand, guess what? This has got you covered. Now, it doesn't have every creature covered, but, you know, 3 mana or less is going to affect, I would say, the majority. Maybe not the vast majority, because after all, pitch elementals and Omnath are a thing in the format, but I would say the majority of creatures in Modern. Not the vast majority, but the majority of creatures in Modern. And certainly a lot of the creatures where those board states I was talking about are going to overwhelm you early in the game. So that's the #1 reason why. I mean, honestly, I would probably be trying this card. I would be trying this card, actually, as a matter of fact, even if that's all this did, as a Mind Rot and destroy trigger creature with mana value 3 or less modality. That alone, I would be testing this card if that alone was the case, because that is the #1 problem that I have with Mind Rot. Now, you have probably been seeing me play like Unburden in the past, and I'm not going to look that up either. It's basically Mind Rot with cycling too, except it does cost 2 black. Not insignificant when we play colorless lands, but it was never really the 2 black that was that big of an issue with Unburden. The main thing is taking a whole turn off and spending 2 mana to cycle and draw a card. It's a similar sort of issue with you know, with actually casting like Mind Rot. Like, you know, if you think about it, at the end of the day, it's the same kind of thing. You're basically going shields down for an entire turn in the early games, at least. You know, in one case to make them discard 2, in the other case to draw a card. Either way, it doesn't affect the board. This card does. This card does affect the board, and that I think is the #1. The #1 problem with Mind Rot solved. However, this card is so much more than just a Mind Rot. If you look, there's another nifty little ability here. Return target creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, gee, I wonder, have we started to incorporate a creature that costs 2 mana or less with a really useful ability that would be kind of nice if it got returned to the battlefield? I don't know. Maybe we have to. Oh, wait a minute, we did. It's called Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah, actually, you know, you'd be surprised. This card, needless to say, eats a removal spell a lot because people do not like their draw spells being meddled with. So almost always, you're going to have the option to return Bowmasters to play. And guess what? When you do, it also gets to snipe down a 1 toughness creature or just go to the face. You get to create another orc token or buff an already existing orc token. Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like, honestly, I found myself, and you know, and if in this league, it's been a little bit, so I can't remember 100% everything that happened in the league that we're going to be going over. But oh, and by the way, this is live commentary, in case you're wondering. The only thing that's not live commentary is the deck tech, but the actual games are live commentary. I just haven't done the deck tech yet. So yeah, but it's been a while since yeah, believe it or not, I recorded the games, and it's just been a while since I've actually gotten to the deck tech. But that being said, I apologize in advance if in the upcoming league I forget sometimes that I can return Bowmaster, but it's a very good option to have, and I think that's going to be I mean, I know it comes up. I can't remember for sure if it was A, recorded, and B, I can't remember for sure if it was this league, but I know that this is something that I have done in the past, and it's extremely nice. Notably, we can return Tourach too, but since we don't get the kicker effect, yeah, returning Tourach is still sometimes a nice thing to do, although primarily returning Bowmasters is going to be our main jam. But it doesn't even end there, because guess what? If we pay a total of 7 mana, 3 plus the 4 kicker, we get to possibly do all 3. You know, a lot of times we're only going to be able to choose 2. You know, they might not have any creatures in play, but between Tourach and Bowmaster, a lot of times we're going to at least have a creature in the graveyard we can return. Very nice. And sometimes, if they have a creature with Converted Manifest 3 or less in play, we can even kind of make our own little sort of mini Cruel Ultimatum. Needless to say, a lot less powerful than actual Cruel Ultimatum, which I believe it's they discard 3, you draw 3. They sacrifice a creature, you return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And I can't remember if there's anything else to it. Maybe they lose 5 life, you gain 5 life. I can't remember. But maybe not that. That is a little too nutso. You know what? Let's just, for our curiosity, let's just look up Cruel Ultimatum. It's been a long time since I've ever seen this card played or talked about even. Cruel Ult. Cruel. Gotta brush up on my spelling here. Here we go. Sacrifice a creature, discard 3 cards. Yeah, that's what I remembered. Yeah, you sacrifice a creature, discard 3, loses 5 life. Yeah, okay. So I remembered it actually. I'm surprised. I remembered it pretty much perfectly. Also 7 mana, although of 3 colors. Needless to say, incredibly color intensive. Needless to say, you cast Cruel Ultimatum and you basically have won the game. At that point, it might as well read 7 mana, you win the game. But hey, you know. But yeah, yeah. So sure, Inscription of Ruin is obviously nowhere near as good as Cruel Ultimatum on a 7 mana, but but unlike Cruel Ultimatum, you can actually cast this for 3. That is obviously the reason why this card might actually have some chance of seeing play in Modern, at least for me. If even though I'm probably gonna be the only one playing it for a long, long time. And Cruel Ultimatum is probably not going to see play for ages. Maybe it could be seen. Maybe it can see play as a 1-of in Grixis Control. I could see that just as a fun of, you know. But the odds of that getting stuck in their hand and then them just dying with it in their hand and it being effective mulligan is probably too high, even as a 1-of. But yeah, I mean, think about it. They discard 2 cards. You return a creature. We can destroy one of the creatures. It's almost sort of like a mini Cruel Ultimatum, and believe it or not, it has come up where we get full or close to full value from Inscription of Ruin, and I guess we'll see how that goes. Now, one little minor point of contention. I think since this league, I've actually moved away from Relic of Progenitus. I actually favor Soulguide Lantern. Yeah, I mean, admittedly, Relic is better if you actually want to keep it around because it can keep chewing at their graveyard. Plus, you draw a card when you actually pop it. I mean, you get to both blow up the graveyards and draw a card rather than having to choose one or the other. That being said, you know, it's kind of close because Inscription, like when you're playing Relic main deck, you most of the time lose out on the ability to return a creature. A lot of times it's not necessarily like you lose out on that much, but it's just enough where I'd probably recommend going with Soul Guide. But I did have this in mind of this possible dyssynergy, but for this league, my thinking was it's still going to be worth it to lose out on that for the overall better power of Relic. And yeah, the rest is pretty standard mono black. I don't think I need to explain everything again. Yeah, you can see previous leagues where I go over the other card choices. Yeah, Necromentia for combo decks as well out of the sideboard. We are living in a 1-ring world, so we're going to be playing 4 Tear Asunders with 2 forests, which we can fetch out, by the way, with our main deck Field of Ruins and sideboard Demolition Fields. Demolition Fields in the sideboard, by the way, are far from frivolous, even in non-Tron matchups, but obviously Tron is one of the main reasons we want access to more than just 4 Field of Ruins. But being able to double up on ways to kill Urza Saga is also really nice. There are some matchups where having 8 fields can actually surprisingly color screw them, like Murktide is one. There are certain matchups. Be attentive to how close they are to running out of basics when you're fielding in game 1, and if they're particularly vulnerable to looking vulnerable to getting juked by 8 field effects, you can board into them. You can either side out Blast Zone, and depending on what you side out here, like if you side out a Tourach, for example, you could even get away with siding out a black land for the Demolition Fields. You can also just side out a business spell and go up to 28 lands. Believe it or not, like in some matchups, like for example Murktide, it may not necessarily always be a bad idea to go to 28 lands, which might sound weird, but there are some matchups where a lot of times you're just passing back and forth, and a lot of times actually having 28 lands basically meaning you can never miss a land drop, or very rarely miss a land drop. Sometimes you win those top deck wars where you're kind of waiting for the opponent to act first because they have to start discarding the hand size first because they can't play land every single turn, and you can. Plus, again, like Murktide, for example, I said they can be kind of susceptible to getting all their mountains blown up. So in matchups where the Demolition Field has very real utility, then it's actually kind of more of a spell anyway. So yeah, and then of course, the one of Emrakul. Um, I've been seeing more and more mill lately. Um, yeah, I mean it's possible that mill is not popular enough to warrant this, but at the end of the day, we're actually kind of soft in mill, and for only one sideboard slot, we improve our mill matchup dramatically. Now this doesn't single-handedly beat mill, but it does make the matchup a lot more winnable. Sometimes they bring in graveyard hate, but most of their graveyard hate is things like their own lanterns, and Blast Zone actually can do a very good job of blowing those things up and making it so that your Emrakuls are live again, which is very nice. You can even do that in response to a mill spell sometimes, so that you can make sure that they can't replay another one. Another thing worth noting, Stone of Eric. I've actually been finding, in like my mono red deck specifically, I've been really liking Stone as opposed to Relic. In the mono red deck, this way I can keep Delirium with Unholy Heat easier. I, however, would not recommend playing this in the black deck, even if you have been seeing me have success with the mono red deck, because of the targeting nature, because they're already kind of liable to potentially bring in a Leyline of Sanctity. So, oh yeah, this is Leyline Combustion I've never used. Maybe I should sell that one. But anyway, yeah, so Leyline of Sanctity, basically, this card, sometimes they bring it in against us because it shuts off our Inscription of Ruin. It also shuts off our Liliana Edict. Notably, it does not shut off Sheoldred because it says Eat, which is a very nice positive for Sheoldred's Edict. But yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. Relic and Soul Guide Lantern, they don't target when you pop them and you exile the graveyard, and that's going to be very, very, very huge deal because I have seen particularly what's that called again? Dimir Living End bring in Leyline Sanctity more than I would like, and I mean, yeah, you know what? In the old days, actually, I probably wouldn't have brought in Stone of Eric into the red deck either for the same reason. Because in the old days, people always assumed I was Burn. Like, even when I was playing cards like Flame Slash, was like, yes, I have seen very, very rarely. I think I've seen maybe once Flame Slash being played in Burn. It wasn't me. I know you'd think the one person playing Flame Slash in a Burn deck would be me. It wasn't me, but I think I have seen it once. I saw a YouTuber try it out. I think it may have been John from MTG Access. I'm sorry, John, if it wasn't you, because I'm not saying like a bad thing. Actually, I remember it being surprisingly better than it looked. For whatever reason, I think the format was more full of, I think it was during the height of the prowess era where you needed to keep those prowess creatures off of you. Actually, I'm more giving credit more than anything else. I think when that was played, it may have been the correct decision, but regardless, other than maybe seeing Flame Slash played once in Burn in my entire life, back in the day, people would always assume my mono red deck was Burn, even when I was playing cards like Flame Slash, which I would have to assume the only person who would even think there's a possibility that could be Burn would be me, and yet sometimes people would still think it was Burn for some reason. However, I think we're well past that era. Hey, you've sort of made it in a way as a deck builder when, what's his name, the Manalogs, I think, or either the Manalogs or that AIO2 YouTube channel guy, I forget his name, but there's a guy who introduces you to every deck in Modern, and he actually featured Obosh Red, and like, oh, that was so exciting because I'm like, oh man, they finally happened. one of the decks I made is actually like mentioned by a YouTuber as like an actual deck in Modern. And I know like it does see like not a completely it sees like more play than like a totally fringe deck. Let's put it this way: it sees more play than Suicide Black. I don't know that anybody still plays that. And I hope this video doesn't get shadow banned or something for saying that word. But whatever, I'll call it Sue Black from now on. That was back when decks were named very politically incorrectly. So my bad. That was just that came from a different era. In any case, that deck just was all about losing life and playing cards like you're not gonna believe it. Playing cards with names like can you believe they actually named a Magic card this? Man, like the world was such a different place not so long ago. Like, oh man. Like anyway, people actually used to play this card, and MTG and Wizards of the Coast actually used to name cards like this. But anyway, um, in any case, yeah. In any case, yeah. So in the mono red deck, I don't really worry too much about people assuming I'm burn anymore. Now that mono red mid range has become more of an actual archetype. I know it kind of was with Scred Red, but you could always tell with the Snowlands. I guess I could have played Snowlands. Now that I think about it, maybe I should have played Snowlands back in the day. But actually, I kind of liked sometimes them thinking I was burn. Actually, now that I think about it, actually that was actually a good thing. That was actually probably the number one reason not to play Snowlands back in the day, is because they'd probably sideboard more correctly. Because even though I wasn't Scred Red, if they sideboarded for Scred Red, unless they played some jank like Break the Ice or something, which I don't even think was legal for most of the time when my deck was super unknown. Um, there wasn't even that much snow basic hate, but if they, for the most part, if they sided for Scred Red, they'd probably be closer to the money than sideboarding for burn. Well, anyway, I got sidetracked big time. Let's see how the games go, and yeah, take care, everybody. Okay, let's go. All right, looks like a hand to me. Hopefully it's more the shadow variety than the, yeah, it looks like it is. Probably Death Shadow. All right, works for me. All right, let's see. An argument could be made that these Murderous Riders should just be Maze Mind Tome. We'll see. There's more mana efficient. But Murderous Rider is so good though. Yes, I do not want to expose my Bowmaster to their Bowmaster. Who Bowmasts first, right? That is the question. Alrighty. We shall see. I'll just do this on the upkeep. I highly doubt they play Urza Saga, but who knows. Alrighty. Yeah, I mean, if they take my Bowmaster, so be it. Interesting that they took the Rider. Alrighty. I mean, they could play Saga, but I won't. I just don't know that yet. This could keep them off land entirely. Yeah, it did. I mean, they're taking a lot of damage just to fetch them tapped. Okay. Should I Bowmast? Probably. Yeah, probably Bowmasting is the way to go. Well, maybe I'll take one hit, because in the meantime, this is pretty good. Ready. I'll probably just sack Relic. But then they can Bowmast, but then I can Bowmast their Bowmast. So if they want to Bowmast me, that's fine. It's not the amazing gotcha they think it is. So I can Murderous Ride and Bowmast the Bowmast. Seems reasonable to me. Huh, or better yet, I can do this. Yeah, I might as well. Alrighty. I'm going to Sheoldred's Edict. I got Fatal Push if they Ragadash, so should be okay. See, this is why I like Murderous Rider. Creature removal, and it's a creature itself. I like it. I'll probably Murderous Ride that as well, although I might run out of Planeswalker removal. Alright, fine. I have the castles, though, which can help me pull ahead, plus I have these Murderous Riders. So I do feel I am ahead here, even though they had a companion. With Castle Locthwain, companions are not, in my opinion, quite as important as they might otherwise be. Okay, that's very surprisingly efficient. You know, fortunate sequence, which only gets better if they had Ragavan, but thankfully they don't have Ragavan. I don't know if they want to keep losing life, though. That's easiest fatal push ever. Yeah, I'm just going to do this on upkeep. Alright, I guess they can down tick with Ren and 6, be my guest. It's almost like negative 2-ing. Imagine like I played Shock on the Ren and 6 because instead of going up 1, they go -1, so it's still doing something, even if it doesn't look like. Okay, they do play as a Saga, good to know. I have to blast zone so that it can't go too nuts with the Urza Saga. Alrighty. Okay. Holy heat. Okay, fair enough. Alrighty. Alrighty, come on. Okay, good. So we can hit one of those Urza tokens. So first we want to do this, because we don't want to kill our own Bowmaster. Alrighty. No, do not do pithing needle on the castle. Okay, that's a good one. Definitely fatal push, yeah. Let's do this on our upkeep. And these are some incredibly good draws. Alright, well, since I have another Liliana, since they have no cards in their hand, I'll just tick down. Probably Construct Token, yep. And a Hive of the Eye Tyrant wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Just down tick because I can kill whichever remaining one with the Fatal Push. Please not another Orcish Bowmaster. Okay, good. And we'll Fatal Push. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Kind of want to save the thirst. If they Bowmast, I'm going to respond. Okay. My life total is low enough that I don't want to just use it up willy-nilly. Okay, well now I might not have a choice. Okay, that's a good one. Alrighty. I have to hold the Relic up, I think, in case of Ren and 6. It's kind of just game over if they... Yep. You see, this is exactly why. Okay, that's fine. So I might actually hit this one. Just trying to think here. Yeah, I'll do this. I think I have to cycle this so I don't yeah, I always thought of that. So maybe I draw Fatal Push. Yeah. Man, even like one Hive of the Eye Tyrant could have helped out a lot. Man, this entire deck feels like it's got a pretty good matchup here, but like, what am I supposed to do when I just I don't know. Last zone's okay, but I think we're gonna play Demolition Field. I think the rest is, we can't really afford to make any changes. Yeah, I think the main thing is getting juked by Urza Saga. So I think with these 8 fields, we're probably okay. We don't really need Blast Zone to deal with either the Tarmogoyf or the Wrenn and 6. We've got 12 fairly efficient answers to both Tarmogoyf and Wrenn and 6. Murderous Rider is the least efficient, but it still gets the job done. Sheoldred's Edict, it's yeah, I mean, most of the time. Alrighty. Alpine Moon. See if they name Blast Zone. So weird. Alpine Moon is certainly the type of card where it does make me want a little bit whatchamacallit, Blast Zone. Very interesting. If they play Bowmaster, I'm gonna snipe their Bowmaster before anything happens. Think of this like a incredibly elaborate way to beat their Bowmaster. So let's see here. I actually want to Bowmaster the Urza Saga token. it's being greedy or not. Alrighty. Man, they're just asking to get Blood Moon so hard, even worse than me. And I thought my deck was weak to Blood Moon. That works for me. I'll just do this now. And if they have Bowmaster, well, Bowmast to Bowmast. I really wanted to Bowmast that Urza token, but this is like a little too good. This can probably wait, especially since I need Relic. But I need this Bowmaster to count, unfortunately. I don't know if they actually play that much card draw. We'll see. I didn't need to actually make a token, I don't think. Yeah. Be a push time on that for sure. I could take down one of those. Trading with the Bowmaster. I think I will. I know I'm delaying this Tourach so badly, but I really need to make these Bowmasters count. This must feel so stupid to them, getting Bowmastered out like this. Believe me, I know that feeling. And we'll wait unless they get like a welding jar or something, I think. Okay, interesting. So we just have to be mana efficient. This is not particularly like the best play or anything. We just gotta be mana efficient. We're gonna attack first, because worst case scenario, they have Bowmaster. We don't want them to Bowmast our Tourach. They might just Bowmass now. They do. Alrighty. There's the field around that they named. Okay, last 2 cards in their hand. Those are some good ones too. I don't even think they really draw cards much. Let's just keep the pressure on, man. What if they have something that makes me sacrifice? I'll take my chances. Okay, Phantom Push is a good one. Okay, that's pretty aggro of them. But I guess they don't want to block, so I guess it makes sense. What have they got in their hand? I think it's worth doing this. This could backfire if they have Bowmaster, but okay. Probably worth it. And so get into the hand. Can I make them discard Giganta? Or should I just kill this? I'll kill that. Oh, can I do both? No, I can't. No, I'm going to make them discard the Giganta. Because the problem here... Nah, I should have killed it, because them going out of 1 turns off the Wooded Foothills. I just feel like Giganta's their only way back in the game. I could probably be wrong, though. Yeah, plus that card getting pumped is also always nice. I like Damnation. I probably should have let them in a 1. Then Damnation would have been even worse, actually. Alrighty. I'd like to see it. So I'm not sure what to make of this. Do I want Blast Zone or not? I don't know what to make of this. I feel conflicted. I think we didn't even draw a single Hive of the Eye Tyrant, so like this could be kind of a exercise in futility if that's the case. But Blast Zone lines up against their needles and all those other things so well. All right, we'll do it. If we get color screwed, it is what it is. But it's just very. Okay, I think we can weather the color screw storm, and I think Blast Zone is going to be a asset rather than a liability here. Okie dokes. Alright, well, I guess I'll play my Field of Ruin, which taps for all colors. Who knows, maybe we can put them on tilt if we're playing like this color fixed us. But, you know, you never know. I'm not going to get cute. You know, I legit thought about playing like that, but no. No. They might feel forced to Bowmast, in which case I'll definitely Bowmast the Bowmast. I think I got the Demolition Field. Should I Bowmast the Bowmast? No, I'm going to be very conservative here. So they can't play a fetch land. See here. Oh, I hate that, man. So I'm going to try to be efficient. Alright, I guess it's Tourach time. Good thing I was efficient. And it turns out that color fixing did come in handy. I think I can beat an Urza Saga activation or two. What's hard to beat, though, is recurring Urza Sagas off the Rens and 6s. That's the difficulty. Okay, so that's a Sheoldred, I think. Non-token creature. I really don't want them to... Yeah, so I'm going to Demolition Field. And the reason why is I really don't want them to get Pithing Needle. Now I should be able to prevent running 6, getting Urza Saga back for value. And if I can Bowmaster the construct before they play another artifact, I'm definitely gonna feel good. Sheoldred's deck can take care of that pretty easily. Alright, that is what it is. I might just draw. It's just efficient. Let's go. Nice. Non-token creature. I just kind of didn't want them to juke me with another Bowmaster. Pumping it up. Okay, Relic of Progenitus is going to be awesome sauceums. Alrighty. I feel like we are in a pretty good spot. See, this is why sometimes they advise against cards like Alpine Moon. They seem good at first glance, but they have problems. This is lethal, so I'm forcing to make a bad block. Righty. Okay, let's see. What is this? Okay, that is GG. Oh boy, what a game. Alright, you got I think a serviceable enough hand. A bit more colorless sources than we would like, but I think we're going to be okay. Alright, Inscription of Ruin. I'm actually kind of considering just making this Cling to Dust. Just Cling to Dust is just such free card advantage. Rennie and 6. Well, good thing we have Bloodcheif's Thirst. It's a very, very clean answer. Yeah, let's do this. I think this is just a little bit cleaner. Alrighty. Okie dokie. So we have some options here. I hope we don't get counterspelled. But I think this is a Liliana downtick moment. Alrighty. Right, okay. I can Sheoldred to Edict that. I guess they're thinking the same thing I was thinking. Let's just do this. This card, probably a Fatal Push. Yeah, I think this is going to put some good pressure on them. Okay, okay. We might want to Murderous Rider that thing. Let's see. Could Sheoldred. No, it's Murderous Rider. We want to be able to play it next turn. Oh, we don't get Spell Pierce. Okay, good. Because we're probably going to have to save the field for Revolt, which we might be doing here with an Omnath. Okay, they're playing the One Ring. I think Bowmaster was kind of made to tangle with the One Ring. They might be suspecting something, though. Okay, not bad. Okay. Oh, this is annoying. Well, we can Inscription of Ruin at least. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, this is a bunch of nothing burgers. Alright, let's do this. I didn't realize actually I can't do both, but it's okay. Non-token creature. Alrighty. Well, I gotta do something right now. I gotta make something happen right now. Okay. Oof. Bowmaster definitely bailed me out right there. Bowmaster for the win. I love you, Bowmaster. Oh boy. I love you so much, Bowmaster. Words cannot describe. Alright, let me see here. Okay, this is definitely a job for Tear Asunder. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Ugh. This could be one of these matches where things get pretty crazy. You know, I'm going to put 2 castles, 2 hives. I don't think they play that much land destruction. Now, you know what? I'm going to go 6 swamps. No, I'm going to need these in case they... This is actually kind of tricky. How do I make room for these 2 forests? I guess Relic is the weakest link, even though it is not bad. $28 lands, hey. I mean, because the problem is this is 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. Do I really did this many hives? Could just take out all the hives and put in. No, I'm gonna do it. No, this is 64. I missed. I done goofed. I done goofed. 64 cards. What should I have taken out? What should I have taken out? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what I should have taken out. Let's see here. Please no relic. I do have an answer though, at least, but I don't want to overtax my answers. I don't have that many answers to artifacts. Both the One Ring and that. Okay. I guess this is as good of an opportunity as ever. Hopefully we don't get... Okay. Should I Inscription or should I Liliana? I think Inscription. That's interesting that they did that. Maybe I Sheoldreds. Yeah, I'm gonna Sheoldreds right now. Because I don't want them drawing a card off of that. Alright, so I think what I'm gonna do... So I've got some choices. Bloodcheif Thirst. May need to save that. So I think I have to do this. And Inscription. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's see if they dove and veto me, bro. I don't think dove and veto can stop this one. Let's bring it. Okay, what is this? Why are they putting a creature in their hand? They've got a trick up their sleeve. But they're going to just end up discarding this unless... Okay, that's weird. But they can't gain life because it's this other creature. Oh, I see, because this way it doesn't become a 4/3. Alright. I still think that was a pretty solid thingamaroony. Just gotta dodge them drawing the One Ring. Okay, as cool as it is, it's not the One Ring. Okay. Should I Liliana? No. Liliana could be actually super important. But then I have to chump with the Tourach. Hope this doesn't somehow screw me over. Interesting. I guess they need to protect their life total with the ring. Come on, Bowmasters. Alrighty. Maybe I should have upticked with the Liliana. Somehow I suspected they had the ring, but they're still fairly low on life. And I think maybe start attacking with the Hive. Alright, Fury, I guess. Okay, that's a lot less scary than Fury. I think I have to hit the Fury because in the long run, that's going to cause major problems. We don't want that bouncing the One Ring. Alrighty. So I'm kind of sensing that they have a, oh man, that's a good one. We don't want to give this away. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, we can do this to minimize damage. Oh, they just give up. That's weird. I don't know why just give up, but hey, we'll take it. Had an easy win main phase. Do you know why I did that at end step? Okay. Yeah, there's something I'm missing here. Alright. Yeah, I'm sure there is, by the way. Okie dokie. Look, Omnath was the last one. And I'll keep. Hand looks good enough. Good enough to do things. Since I don't have anything to do in turn 1 anyway, I'll just play this out as a pseudo tap land. The only way I get punished for this is if I draw another Hive, the Eye Tyrant, and then also if I draw a swamp, like on turn 3. Oh no. Yeah, this matchup I'm I'm underutilized for. Well, that's actually one of the good cards for this matchup. Maybe I should have Bloodcheif Thirst as a sorcery, but drawing a card is pretty cool. Non-token creature. One of these days, I'm sure I'm going to pick the wrong mode. It's going to suck. Yeah, because of that, I would love to get Murderous Rider down, but I think I just have to do this card. And hopefully I draw like a basic swamp. Maybe not. I hate this main deck Vortex. It's pretty nasty. I'm almost feeling like I should uptick. Hope they have a land, but I should probably just kill this thing. Yeah, let's just do this. Okay. Come on, untapped. That's not untapped. Bloodcheif's Thirst, obviously. Maybe I try to race. I mean, I'm not gaining life, but who knows. I should probably just downtick, shouldn't I? Yeah, I should downtick. Because this is 5 damage, it's actually more than Hive. But next turn. Am I actually... Yeah, I think I got lethal. Because 8. but that's not going to kill me. Wow, do we actually race burn? That's insane. I think we did. And we definitely needed Hive of the Eye Tyrant. There's no way this was happening without this. Oh man, how crazy. Oh man, it's all thanks to Bowmasters, and it's all thanks to you, Mario. And obviously Inscription of Ruin probably helped out a ton there too. Let me think. Obviously the ability to make them discard Liliana is not that great, but you know, if it can kill a creature or take a bird spot in their hand, then it's done more than I can count on. Tear Asunder is not necessary because I could just use the Blast Zone in theory, and it requires about the same amount of setup. Alright, well, this kind of sucks that I don't really have anything for the burn matchup, but this hand sucks. You know, this hand sucks a little less. Since they're on the play, I'm not necessarily counting on being able to get much value out of a kick to Tourach. And there's a forest swamp anyway. If I can, the worst case scenario, drop a land, go down to 3 burn spells. Yeah, but yeah, I might be able to get at least snag 2 cards out of their hand. Inscription of Ruin, gotta do it now for a hold my peace. Alrighty. Theoretically, I'm winning the race, but it's probably not gonna last for too long. I guarantee you they got Searing Blaze. How much you want to bet they got Searing Blaze? Of course they have Searing Blaze. I'm just gonna do Blast Zone. If they got Searing Blaze, I can hit it later. Plus this way I can hold up Sheoldred's Edict. I don't know if that was worth it. I don't even know if they really have a Searing Blaze. I don't know. One of these days they might not draw Railing Vortex. I mean, hey, can't really hope for much more in this matchup. Just the way they insta-kept though is a little concerning, but the one time they don't have Goblin God on turn 1 is when I've got Fatal Push up. every single game, man. Yeah. Of course, they sandbagged it. If they got Searing Blaze, it's going to suck so bad, but I don't really have a choice here. Yeah, they must have Searing Blaze, otherwise why would they have not hit the Murderous Rider? Maybe they... Okay. At least we can tie up their mana a little bit, maybe. This, I don't think, converts into a win. Let me think. Yeah, realistically, as long as they're playing Whirling Vortex, man, probably this matchup's just unwinnable now. I mean, the life gain normally would have made a difference. Okie dokie. That's cancelled for sure, mulligan. Alright, this hand's better. Yeah, we'll keep. We don't know what matchup we are. Double Bowmasters seems cool, but there are some matchups where Bowmasters are a little so-so. Believe it or not. Alrighty. I'm really liking this Inscription of Ruin. Pretty good. I'm always wondering if I should lean into it more by playing Relic. The bird has joined. I took out my dedicated mill hate. This is Boros, okay. Well, good thing I left in Sheoldred's deck, because hopefully they don't have Spell Pierce, but I can't play around Drown into Lock, so I have to just Sheoldred on my turn, I think. Maybe I can play around it. So question. Sheoldred's Edict. I think so. Come on, please, no Spell Pierce. They usually don't play Spell Pierce in my experience. Okay. I think we're going to focus on our own graveyard. Because we want to play this way, we can play around drawing the lock if we draw a third land. Come on. And we did. Alright, let's Inscription of Ruin. Let's get this one going here. Gotta do this now so we can whittle their hand down. Okay. Echoing Truth is kind of a non-card. It's a little weird. I'm disappointed to see it, but at the same time. Pressured Sanity. Let's get rid of our Tourach before they draw a card. Don't tosh me, bro. Alright, well, 17 cards. I've seen worse. Can't tell if I hit. I think I hit a decent concentration of 3 drops. I like Bowmaster, but I think I have to do this one. My clock is so slow. Yeah. Okay, Perfected Mind. I can mill. So they mill 9 cards. Alrighty. Okay, it's got to be Inscription of Ruin. I'm going to hit my graveyard ahead of time here. Murderous Rider. Okay. We have to dodge Tasha. As long as we dodge Tasha, we might be okay. God, I wanted Hive so bad. what? I don't actually want that. Oh, this sucks because bringing that at 1 is not good enough. Okay. I'm almost wondering if I should just crack this because I feel like I'm searching for a Bowmaster. Let's see, Bowmaster. I got one more Bowmaster in my deck. Because I mean, like, most of their mill spells will outright kill me. Their Archive Trap kills me. Fracture Sanity kills me if they hard cast it, which of course they will. Tasha's almost certainly kills me. I can't think of any mill spells. Jace kills me, I think. Yeah, because that kills me. Yeah, I can't really think of any mill spells that mill between like 4. I don't know. They don't play like small fry mill spells. See if we can draw another Bowmaster. Hey, we did. Nice. I guess we were vindicated in taking this approach. Oh man. Well, hopefully this isn't like the burn game where it just teeters out from here. I don't really have anything else. So I guess we just run this one back. Oh, the Emrakul. Oh, golly, no. Okay, there we go. I do have some tech for this matchup. Silly goose, I've got Emrakul. Alrighty. Okay. Oh man, this is too slow. But I don't know though, like. No, this hand is too slow. Okay, that's much better. Okay. Vindicated for having a plan against Mill. Y'all laughed at me for playing Emrakul until now. Ha ha ha. It's a one of. Can dramatically help a matchup. I might just crack a relic because yeah, these aren't doing anything. Just play around whatever. Okay, they did not hit the Emrakul. That is good. Hopefully I don't draw it though. That's a good one. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, because if I drew Emrakul, I don't know. Oh, maybe Emrakul saved me there. Yep. On Tourach. Okay, well, that's not Tourach, but I'll take it. I'm pretty close to being 20. Okay. How many Field of Ruins? 1, 2, 3. So I got one more Field of Ruin left in my deck. Might as well play for it, right? There it is. Alright, Jace just outright kills me, so might as well discard the Sheoldred's Edict. I probably don't have any swamps left. I have to start my journey of trying to win somewhere, although I don't think I can win in time. Alright, I'm doing it. I'd probably keep the 3 islands if I were them. Oh, that's interesting. It's not what I expected. But hey, what do I know? Because most of their stuff that one-shots me is all blue anyway. If you know what I mean. Well, they drew out of it anyway. Always nice. I got the long road ahead. I should probably play this on their upkeep. Just on the off chance they draw Deer out of the lock. Fractured Sanity, GG. Or it has to be Tasha, actually. I think I made a big mistake because now Fractured Sanity actually kills me from the cycling. Never mind. Okay. Did I dodge it? Did I dodge it? This is still lethal though. Yeah, they should have hit the Tourach. Oh right. Hey, well at least we won. At least we break even on this league. Alrighty. Alrighty. What can I say? What can I say? Oh no, the bird is trying to bite my headphones. Uh-oh. Okay, this hand is good enough. Okay. Oh yes, I think Hive is probably quite a necessity. Alrighty. No, not burn again. Oh, Obosh. Looks like they're probably playing Obosh Red. I like Obosh Red almost as much as I like Obosh Black. I think main reason Burb wants to bite the headphones is because she wants to play with me. Oh my god. Yes, because she knows that if she bites the headphones, then I try to grab her. Yes, of course. So I could expose myself to a Ragadash, so maybe I won't. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Oh. Oh no. Oh, Blood Moon would be so brutal here though. Ow, 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 ow. Alrighty. Okay. It just so happens though that maybe I baited them into playing the Blood Moon when they should have pitched it. I don't know, but these Hives could have been useful. I always wonder if I should go full value with the Inscription. Maybe I should. I mean, this is a matchup about value. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, I'm definitely going. I'm gonna try to hit something for 3, of which there are a decent amount, and kick it for full value. I feel like they're probably going to run Obosh out, and I do have a Sheoldred Edict, so there is that. Okay. All right. Alrighty. I'm going to save that token because I might need to inscription it. I'm going to need a description of that Seasoned Pyromancer. That's the problem with these elemental tokens. I don't have a card like Fury to mop up. I guess I have Bowmasters though, so I do have something. I mean, it's a good thing I saved up, but I don't know that this is actually going to end up making that big of a difference. We'll see. Kind of got a super floody hand, ironically. Okay. Well, Lightning Bolt with Obosh is definitely a good thing. I need Bowmasters or I'm toast. We don't have a way to put a creature, a non-token creature, into play at instant speed. I just can't bring myself to use Fatal Push on these. I'm gonna get swarmed by the tokens. Oh man, the Seasoned Pyromancer Barrage. Yeah, this is the #1 problem that I have with Mono Black, is how to deal with Token Swarm. Also, like, getting mana flooded is also kind of problematic. Well, that's obviously getting pushed. Well, I don't have much of a choice. Oh, yeah, I don't have Fury or anything, so this is probably just where it's GG. More land? Yeah. Somehow, like, when it rains, it floods. Like, I just know that that next card's going to be a land. Maybe we have to Necromentia on Seasoned Pyromancer. And Tear Asunder, but I don't know. Just for Blood Moon. I don't feel like we lost that match because of Blood Moon. We lost it because of Mana Flood. Yeah, so a few relics actually to mop up the Seasoned Pyromancers could have helped too. I think Liliana is just beyond terrible in this matchup. Or Bowmaster could have helped, but we would have needed to see it. Since they have Blood Moon, we have to play Demolition Field to try to maximize our ability to put basics into play while we can. this hand loses hard to Blood Moon. And to Saga-van. I say no. Alright, well, this hand has more potential even though it's even though it doesn't get there right away. The way we win this matchup is by outvaluing them, so we do have 16 black sources in this version, but unfortunately we still have to keep this very speculative hand. Going down too far is definitely a bit on the risky side. Hopefully we can at least get to 3 mana so we can cash this in. I think that's a Ragged Dash if I've ever seen one. Oh man, I could have used that. Alrighty. I'll take any untapped source though. No, I need swamp specifically. If they play Blood Moon, I'll probably just scoop. The last hand was too top heavy. Okay. Please don't drop Blood Moon, man. Don't slow roll me. Okay, good. Can deal with alright. Yeah. What sucks though is because of Saga-van, I can't. I just have to dodge Blood Moon for one more turn. I have to imagine that if they. I have to imagine that if they had Blood Moon, they would have played it. Okay. Now I'm feeling really dumb for playing Necromentia though. What did it even take out for it? Liliana. Liliana would have been better here, that's for sure. Okay. I think I have to Tourach. Hopefully I don't have another stomp. Lovely. It's risky, but I'm going to Tourach again. I mean, I don't know how many opportunities I'm going to have. And I have that as a backup at least. Not that I could do anything with that, but not be a lightning bolt or another stomp. Okay, thank God. I would definitely trade with a Bone Crusher. And they're obviously not going to attack with just the Shaman. Now, if they draw a removal spell, then I'm pretty much a goner. Oh, I'm blocking the Goblin token. Oh, wow. I don't know what that was all about. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so I got options here. Okay, that's what I think it's got to be. I gotta somehow. Oh, but if they copy, I can block Fatal Push, Sheoldred's Edict. I gotta do this while I can, I think. Or maybe, no, I gotta hit the Ramanap Ruins. I gotta hit this one. And I think I Bowmast. Yeah. Let me see, I could hit this one. Okay, dokie. Post league thoughts. Okay, so man, if I mean, I think we really showed our ability to grind, particularly in the Jund Saga and the Omnath matchups. Yeah, and I know we faced Mill as well, so suddenly we can see that maybe I wasn't completely crazy to think Emrakul might have a place in the deck. In any case, and of course our only losses were to Burn and to Obosh Red. Now I'm just gonna straight up say that Obosh Red, I think there's very little we can do to actually make the matchup to actually swing the matchup in our favor, because at the end of the day, they kind of are like our deck, except they have 0 dead draws. Basically, all their burn spells are live. Well, yeah, now that I think about it, their burn spells are a little on the weaker side because it only kills half a Bowmaster. Tourach hopefully will have done its thing, and Murderous Rider hopefully will have killed something as well. So I guess the burn spells are a little lackluster, but just every other single card. But like, unlike us though, they never draw dead cards when they're going top deck. I guess technically we don't either. Although Tourach is almost a dead card if they don't have cards in their hand anymore. Because a two mana for 2/1 might as well be no card at all almost against against Obosh Red. I know from experience in playing Obosh Red. But yeah. That being said, I will say I have been messing around a little bit with Damnation after this league, and I can't say for how it does against Obosh Red. My guess is we still lose to Obosh Red, but it does dramatically improve the Rakdos Scam matchup. I actually have beaten Rakdos Scam a few times, largely because of Damnation. Granted, part of it they might not see it coming, but they basically Red, particularly with Season Pyromancer, they don't often play Season Pyromancer anymore, but you know, Fable also dumps a lot of creatures on a battlefield, 2 to be precise, but still 2 must-kill creatures. Sometimes you can wait until it flips, and then you can Damnation. Bottom line is oftentimes Damnation is the only way to actually catch up, so to speak, because one thing Red does that Black doesn't do as well is dump more creatures on the battlefield. All we have is really Bowmasters, but Red has both Season Pyromancer and Fable, plus Fury does a great job at wiping all our board and producing a creature of their own. And yeah, what can I say? Plus, Rakdos, if you're talking Rakdos Scam, they can also play Bowmasters as well. So it's just, there ends up being a lot of creatures on the battlefield that have to be dealt with. And if you really want to be able to beat decks like, Obosh Red or Rakdos Scam, I think Damnation is probably where you have to reach. That's been my conclusion I've come to since this league. In any case, oh yeah, and Boros Burn. So I know I said in Boros Burn that, I don't know if it's even winnable if they're playing main deck well in Vortex. Well, actually it is, and Haywire Might definitely helps out a lot. Now, Haywire Might is a card that I typically reach for more if I'm playing Urza Saga. But I think even if you're not playing Urza Saga, it's probably correct. I mean, we're probably getting to the point where there's so many more ring decks and combo decks where we need Necromentia, although Necromentia is great against Rhinos. Sure if they counter it, but yeah, just this makes Rhinos such a more winnable matchup if you can actually name Crushing Footfalls. But for the most part, Rhinos is probably kind of a lost cause anyway. It's just so hard to get this thing to resolve. And the fact that they can sometimes beat you by just casting Furies and Brazen Borrowers in their turn. Well, I guess Brazen Borrower is pretty easily sniped with Bowmaster, but you're not just going to have it. But the fact that they can win anyway sometimes is, oh yeah, and Murktide, of course, is especially frustrating. So there's a good argument to be made that we could just play Haywire Might instead of Necromentia. If Haywire Might were in the deck, I think we'd have a much better shot. Haywire Might is so much better than Tear Asunder against Burn. I would probably not bring in Tear Asunder because all it really does is hit Vortex. And although they always had Vortex, there are some leagues where they don't have it. And if you have Tear Asunder and they have no targets for it, that can be kind of brutal. But granted, I probably should have brought in Tear Asunder just in case anyway. But what's it called? Haywire Might is so much better against Burn though, because you can play it out early anyway, and they oftentimes don't want to deal with it because you gain the 2 life. Yeah, and if they play like a Vortex, you could potentially play it and then immediately sack it. And then not only do you kill the Vortex, but if they don't have an untapped red source, you can even gain 2 life while you're at it. But at the end of the day, the fact that Haywire Might is both a very solid card in its own right against Burn, as well as just being, as well as being great against Vortex, I think that helps out a lot. Either way, though, I think we did. So I think Inscription of Ruin is going to be pretty, pretty much non-negotiable, together with Bowmasters going forward. I think it's just a little too good if we're playing Bowmasters. Inscription of Ruin it did exactly what I was hoping it would do, and yeah, oh yeah, and let's not forget about the patrons. I think in my last blue video I forgot to shout them out. I won't do that this time though. Thanks so much to my patrons: Adrian King, Gavin Downard, Daryl, B-Train 4, Savage Ooze, Jules Varro, Kevin Rubach, Roland Schonerman, S. Robertson, HJCLIU, Sophus Garrett, Erwin Lopez, Stanley Franks, Jeff H., Z. Cole Smith, Andrew Watts, and Michael Patton. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good one.